Nicole, when you guys work so hard and they yank the show and they put it on, do you feel like you lose this momentum somewhat, or is it, do you think?
You know what, I think actually what happened to us, and my mood is low because of Dick Clark passing, so forgive me, I'm usually more bubbly than this, but I feel like for us it helped us because we found out, NBC found out how rabid our fan base is. We've always known because on Twitter they follow us and they draw and they do all these great things for us, but it was the first time I think that NBC really got to see how upset they were when we were yanked. And then the other thing of it is, NBC put the fabulous 30 Rock in our slot, and it showed that it's not our show or their show, it's the slot that's like really treacherous. So it was kind of a blessing that NBC got to see that you can put one of your best shows in that slot and it's still going to be a little rough. So I think it was the best thing that could happen for us. So it never felt weird, also because we never stopped working. Like, we stopped airing, but we never stopped working. So we were still going to work every day, still seeing each other, So yeah, it was interesting, but not, life altering.
Among the cast members, it has to feel like this is the little show that could.
I mean, in a lot of respects, because, time challenge, time slot challenge, viewership challenge on a lot of occasions. But again, not your fault. What keeps morale up when, there's an air of negativity?
I am blessed to work with some really smart people. I don't know if you guys have started our community, most of these crazy people on community. We all are really justifiable in our own way, each of us, and we bring our own particular brand of whimsy and silliness and insanity. And so that keeps it fun. Regardless of what's going on outside, we kind of always felt like we were a team, we were working together, and it is kind of like a little in the hood, and we call ourselves islanders. Right? That's perfect, right? We don't quite fit in where else, but together it kind of works. So I think it's like a little thing that we built on the stage there. And we go to our little island on the Paramount Line, and we create enjoy. So.
Well, so that being said, then, how strange is it for you to hear that? I guess the reports are that there's disharmony in your cocoon right now.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what that is. It doesn't personally affect me. It's not something that's a part of my day-to-day life. I was as shocked by everyone when whatever it was kind of bubbled up to the surface. I was like, oh, that's been going on? Okay. I tend to stay focused on my job. My mom always said, how you start is how you finish, and I want to be a professional actor. I want to be on time, know my lines, and go home. So that's what I do. I go to work, I say my lines, I hit my mark, and I go home. Whatever else is going on, it's not a part of this. So it didn't affect me.
Do you know if Chevy Chase will be back? Is he still on the set?
Oh, we stopped filming. We stopped filming back in April. We won't even know if the show will be back until the middle of May. So I don't know. I don't know what Chevy's going to do. I think he's a great part of the show, and I enjoy having Pierce as a part of the study group. So, I hope that his decision is to stay.
That being on the bubble and not knowing, and this whole thing, middle of May is, the upfront's not that far away.
Right.
Have you guys talked about it at all? Do you know what's the reasoning behind that? Why can't someone just say yes or no?
Well, they have to watch.
Have they struck the set?
No, I think our set is still up. I think the library set is still up. I think they have to see what the new pilots are. It's a business. And the first show I did was a show called The Big House. It was on ABC. Remember, you're the one person. You and my mom. It aired for 6 episodes and got yanked, and we were supposed to get, I think, 13, and we came in on the start date of the 6th episode, and I just bought a Honda CR-V the night before, my first new car ever. Came in with my keys, I was so excited, and they called us in to have a little meeting in the living room set, and basically told us that this would be our last week, clean out your dressing rooms. And so that was my introduction to this business. Things end. There is no, even if you're Seinfeld or Friends, it ends. So sometimes you get to end on your own terms, sometimes you don't. So I'm going to take the ride as long as the ride is available. And when it ends, I will hopefully go on to something else and take that ride. So there's no angst about it for me. It's a business. NBC will make the best business decision for their network, and I can't fault them for that. You either have the numbers or you don't.
How long did it take you to get you to that point? Sorry, how long did it take you to get to that point to not feel the angst? Not to get emotionally attached.
Yeah, I think that first show, I remember they told us with The Big House was on ABC, they told us that if we were going to upfronts, we would get the call by like Saturday at noon. to know that you'd be flying Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And when I tell you I sat with that phone on my lap rocking like, ring, come on, ring, and it didn't ring. You know, so I gave myself the rest of the weekend to be in fetal position, rocking back and forth, going, why? But then it's like the sun comes up and you survive. You know what I mean? And so the more you survive in life, the more you realize that everything is survivable until it's the last thing that's not survivable. So we're going to survive everything that happens in life until we don't survive, right? So you learn that as you live. So I survived it. So now, you know, a cancellation of a show is not this, you know, the end of everything.
And what did you learn from that first experience that you've taken to heart and not bought another CRV?
I have not. You know, when I bought the second new car I got was when I got on Community, and we had been doing the show for a year, and my CRV had, by that time, was I think 6 or 7 years old, and it had taken me aside.
So I knew that the CRV was on his last leg. So I had to get another car, but I was afraid that that was going to happen, you know, with the show. And I told our creator, Jeff, I really want a new car, and I'm afraid. And he said to me, buy the car. If the show is not picked up, I will be it. That's what he said. So I agreed to it. He said, yes, I am serious, buy the car. And it was either picked up for the new season or picked up for the back nine. I can't really remember what it was, but he assured me that it did not go forward. He would pay for my car. So that's the reason I'm getting the car, and then of course it's still on. You know, we need to get solid in that. So, yeah, every time I get a show, I try to keep it some kind of business. Yeah. Isn't that nice? I haven't. You know, typically for people with melanin, you have a different road in this industry. Keep loving my jokes. You're a great guy, man. I'm killing over here. I'm killing. But yeah, it's like for us, you know, I think I've tested 3 times, 2 of those shows that I got, and 2 of those shows went. But, you know, you talk to one captain, and they test 30 times a season, so they're, you know,
in the industry, and they've already tested 50 times. And so that also affects their quote. So there's people like me who've worked for 12 years, and my rate is still what someone who got here from Peoria yesterday gets. And then someone that's been here 3 years is thousands of dollars more. So, I mean, I could talk forever about the way it's not exactly fair, the way it works out. But, you know, but then again, I'm one of the people with melanin that's working. So it's kind of like, wah, wah, you know, you got a job. So I try to speak up about it because I have so many friends of color that are not working. So to answer your question all the way around the way, no, I'm not a pilot girl. I've been blessed to get two of the 3 pilots I tested for, so good odds, but no.
The whole system, the whole pilot system is bewildering.
It is.
Once you get your foot in the door, then you can try out the country to get your foot in the door.
That's right. It's crazy, and you can't get an agent until you get some credits, but you can't get credits till you get an agent. It's just, you know, the fact that any of us are working is amazing, but I tell young actors all the time, you know, Tom Cruise started with no credits and no agent. Everybody, Meryl Streep started with no credits and no agent. So everybody that's in this industry now started exactly where you are. So just hang in there. You know, it'll change.
But Meryl Streep started with friends.
Well.
Who
Yeah.
could place her.
Well, that's true too. That's true.
Oh, thank you.